You roast me, I roast
so
you.
true.
That's how it works.
Wait, I gotta plug one more thing. So the song Cynical World coming out.
Yeah, you deal with your shit. I drove all the way from Williamsburg. I'm gonna plug all the shit I can fucking plug. Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Mislabeled. I believe we're on number 22 right now. As a lot of you, I'm sure, have seen, we are upping our game big time, and if you haven't seen, you will see shortly. So yeah, today's guest is a fantastic person who I don't know, by the name of...
but he knows he's fantastic.
Correct, because Zach brought him. So if Zach brought him, he's fantastic. I believe his name is Ben Lerner. Okay, awesome. Zach, first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Shmuley, how about yourself?
Doing great as well.
Awesome. Shmuley's in a lot better mood than he was on the last
Yeah,
podcast.
I was very irritable last time. But I got a nice bagel last night.
Yeah.
Baby got his bottle.
We're generally doing terrible, but we're in good moods.
Yeah, we're generally very sad people right now, but we're in good moods right now for the pod.
Yeah, one thing, you know...
Shout out Lex, bro.
You know that early Shabbos where you go for a solid 14-hour sleep?
Oh, yeah.
Those are good times.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Anyways,
I
Zach...
used to call it sleeping a bagel.
Right.
That's what
And
I
then
just
bagel
called
with
it.
cream cheese. Oh, that's what you said.
I said
I thought
I
you were
just
talking
got
about
a
an actual
bagel. No, I had a bagel last night. 12 hours.
Right. What's a bagel with cheese?
No, cream cheese. Every extra hour after 12. 12 is a bagel, so then cream cheese is 13 hours, 14 hours of bagels and cream cheese and lox.
Got it. What about 15 hours?
Onions.
They had to invent new things for Shmuley.
Yeah. 18 hours. Bagel with vegan cream cheese and brisket.
At a certain point, if it's 18 hours, you're just like, that's a bagel with a side of depression.
I would say like bagel with eggs. Like whatever. Anyways, okay, Zach, take it away.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this is I'm
Zach,
co-hosting.
this is yours. This is
I'm
yours.
co-hosting
Zach,
and
you have-
yours.
I brought a guest on. So I think you guys would consider Ben one of my cool Crown Heights friends, except he's never actually lived in Crown Heights. But we've done quite a bit of hanging out in Crown Heights, and I've had you on a few of my events when I used to make the arts events.
Sure.
And was enamored with you from the first second I saw it. The
Right.
stuff
Can I
you
tell
made.
people how I met you?
Oh yeah.
I
sure.
don't remember how I met you, but one of the first times I met you, you were at a concert with me, and you looked like a real yeshiva guy.
Yeah.
And
years ago, right?
the performer was Theo Katzman, and because he's like sort of Jewish, you had a big sign that said like, "Come to my Pesach Seder, Theo Katzman."
Yeah.
And I don't think you realize that like people don't bring signs to like tiny concerts with like 200 people. It's like a stadium thing, you know. You go with a sign.
Yeah.
I think he talked to you about
He
that.
talked to me
afterwards,
after.
right?
He bageled the shit out of me. He was
bageled
like,
the shit out of me, right.
"Oh, Mazel Tov." I was like, "Oh, Theo, you're really reformed."
He's an Amaretz. He doesn't know
He's a real
anything about
Amaretz.
Judaism,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, what does it mean to bagel the shit out of something?
That's like when a non-religious Jew sees or a non-Jew sees someone who's clearly Jewish and it's like, "Oh, Shabbat Shalom"
Yeah,
on like
that's
a
it.
Tuesday.
No, but I think it's something that Jews do to each other also. Like
yeah.
if you see someone and you think they might be Jewish, but you're not sure, so you bagel them. You like say something about Shabbos.
Start talking to them about mortgages.
You start talking about
I think that's what bageling is. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
It's funny because I was at the Met game last week with a friend, and he had such a good, like, at the Met game, and everyone there's, like, wearing caps to try to show that they're, like, not Jewish, and my friend was literally going, like, where's Mincha? He was just going over to random people, and every person he went over to, Baruch Herman, every single person he went over to, oh, yeah, it's in the back, it's in the back.
That's
Very
hilarious.
tight, yeah. Anyways,
Oh, my gosh.
good stuff.
Wait, so I totally interrupted you. So that's how I met you.
No, that's
Right.
and then we used how we met. by the way.
Okay, but I don't remember how we met.
But
I don't
it's just
remember how I met Shmuley.
Yeah, that's true. We met at a meal 5 years ago in Brockway.
Yeah.
We met because I saw you walking in Flatbush when I used to work at Human Care, which is like
Right.
a special needs thing in Flatbush, and I recognized you from a YouTube video that you put out with Zelig.
Oh my gosh.
And I went over to him like, "Are you in that YouTube video?" And like, I basically was like a fan.
So that's
Yeah.
the problem. You still like me because you know me from the internet.
I think
like,
you're famous,
You're like
basically.
the one person who knows me from the internet.
I'm still
like,
clout
before-
chasing to this
right,
very day.
right,
I just
right.
think that, yeah.
You guys are all Chafetz Chaim, like Chafetz Chaim guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Labels Chafetz Chaim royalty.
Yeah, he's
Right.
like,
I don't even know what that means.
First of all, Chofetz Chaim royalty means that like, are you familiar with Chavetz Chaim at all?
Yeah.
So my grandfather is like, the mothership is in Queens.
Yeah.
And, like all the branches come from that.
Yeah.
So and then there was like Rav Henoch Leibowitz, and there were like 4 mashgichim. So my grandfather is one of the
Henoch Leibowitz has entered the pod.
Henoch Leibowitz has entered mislabeled.
I feel weird about it.
He is currently rolling in his grave.
Shout out Rav Henoch.
Anyways, so my grandfather is one of the mashgichim there. In the
Wait, your
yeshiva.
grandfather's Rav Henoch Leibowitz?
No.
Okay.
My grandfather is one of the
crazy.
mashgichim in Chavetz Chaim Queens currently. So he's like badass. And then my great grandfather. and then
That's one way to put it.
And then my great grandfather happens to be whatever. No biggie. Rav Chaim Pinchas Scheinberg, the guy who used to wear like 100 tzitzis.
right.
That guy.
I did not know
Label's
this.
crumbling
I did
his
not-
dynasty from within right now. He's just like, what badasses they are.
Label, I had no idea. Your great grandfather's Rav Pinchas Scheinberg.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea.
Yeah. And it gets even crazier.
You have yichus, bro.
It gets
Wow.
even crazier. My great grandfather
Is Herman.
Yeah, how do you know that?
I know who his father-in-law is. Like, it's famous.
You know Rav Scheinberg's father-in-law?
I don't know him personally.
You're not what?
He's holding.
He's holding.
No, that's crazy to be holding. No one knows
This
that.
is a yeshivish pod. I like this.
I'm from. Like, I know this.
You could be from. Okay, you know the book All for the Bus?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's my great grandpa.
Right.
Dude.
So my
what?
mother.
My older brother's named after him.
Who are you named after?
I don't even know. No, it's like my mother's side.
Label left Chavetz Chaim when he was 17 years old to go to Torah Or because he thought it was gonna be like a switch in dynasty. Be like, I'm here now. I'm at Rav Scheinberg, not the Wieners, and it's gonna work.
Right.
Turned out,
Didn't work at all.
No, that's a famous family. How many great-grandchildren does Rav Scheinberg have?
Millions.
I don't know, but I do want to transition this pod from my family. No, just because like...
this is good content. I just want to say this right now.
No, just
Okay,
because like...
I love it. Anytime Label gets uncomfortable on the pod, it's good
No, we can talk about this afterward.
Can't say a number.
No, I have no idea. Probably 200-300.
Right, 200.
Label is just one
Right.
big fish and sea of Chavetz Chaim.
Label, how many like current living relatives are you like really letting down currently?
No, first of all, I think they'd be very happy with me sharing this because I don't think I'm saying anything in a negative connotation.
Yeah, not at all.
So-
No, you call them a
They're
badass.
badasses.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Badass
That's a good thing.
It's pretty badass to be Rav Scheinberg.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's very cool.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's
Really? I just
find it hilarious that you knew like it was father, like whatever.
Yeah, I know a lot.
Do you know Moshe Feinstein's father-in-law is?
Do I know whose father was?
Father-in-law.
What is this?
Father-in-law,
Diaz
no, now I
What's going on?
struggle.
That was saying yichus with me right there.
No,
That's why I'm
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Moshe
why. I
Feinstein's
love-
Shoshana's great grandfather.
Okay, do not say who it is because then you're gonna ask me to edit the podcast.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Anyways, go on.
I love reading, and my mother used to always read the book in the house.
Oh, really?
My father says that that book made my mother religious. She doesn't say that, but my father says it. And she reads the books. I used to read the book all the time.
Wow.
So,
Which is actually pretty cool.
All for the Lost, yeah.
That's actually
It's a
pretty
good
cool.
book.
Yeah. Okay, Zach. So I know
we don't want to stay on this
No,
for the
I
rest
think
of the
that's it.
pod.
We're done. We're done.
we knocked it out.
All right.
Cool stuff.
We
So
have
Ben,
established the yeshivishness of
Yeah,
everyone.
I wanted to make that
here's
clear
background.
also. Yeah.
Ben, where are you living right now?
Living in Williamsburg.
Yeah, and that was what I wanted to ask you. about.
Williamsburg.
Where did you used to live?
I used to live right near you guys, except did you live in Soul Meadow?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We lived on Beach 9th and Seagirt.
In the OL building, right?
Yeah, in the all
So before we get to your music, I really just wanted to ask for viewers who might be wondering about that switch, what are some differences in how has your life changed day to day because you now live in a very hip part of
Right.
Williamsburg and not a very Jewish part of Vibrance.
Right. It's a great question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
The politeness on this podcast right now. I cannot take it. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the love and support. Let me tell
Big
you.
deal for him. He's an artist getting interviewed about his life. This is just preparation for genius lyrics.
Where in Williamsburg do you live?
It's called South Williamsburg, but it's also kind of East Williamsburg. Are you familiar with
I
Williamsburg?
know the streets there. So
Yeah.
name streets around you.
So it's South 4th.
Am I giving like my address? Like
No, you don't.
Social Security, if you don't
Social
mind.
Security.
Yeah.
It's called South Williamsburg.
Okay.
So it's like next to the Hasidim, but not really by the Hasidim
You're pretty
yet.
close though,
I'm
right?
pretty
A few
close though.
blocks.
Yeah, a couple of blocks from Hasidim. It's very cool. I mean, it's Williamsburg. You know more about Williamsburg than I do.
It's
Yeah.
funny that I
Yeah.
did when I first visited
Yeah.
you didn't even realize how cool your
Yeah.
area was. You
Yeah.
thought you were just I'm in poor person's Williamsburg because you're not by like Wythe where
Right,
like
because the
Brooklyn
really
Bowl is.
Cool stuff is like very expensive. Like
Yeah.
you're paying like
You're in less expensive, but much more hip. Like
Right.
there's a billion bars by you. Like
Right.
everyone's got tattoos and like
besides for me.
how many artists, how many musicians do you think live in your apartment building?
So I saw a lady with a Snarky Puppy T-shirt,
Amazing.
and I was like, no one wears Snarky Puppy T-shirts. That's so weird. She's like, yeah, I'm the manager.
I don't know who Snarky Puppy
They're
is.
an
Yeah.
insane jazz band. Insane.
They're a band that usually has more people on stage than in the audience.
Yeah.
They just have like a lot of people on stage.
Yeah.
But they have a following. Does anyone listen? Do you actually listen to Snarky Puppy?
I actually only because they did a song with Nowhere, so then I
I
got
don't
into
believe
it.
you. I don't.
You know,
believe anyone
I
listens
listened to
to
3 songs.
How did you, wait, firstly,
So I'll tell you what it is. We lived in Frockaway for 4 years. We liked it a lot. I loved the beach. I used to walk on the beach every single day, and I still miss that a lot. But
People might not know who the We is. You are.
I have a wife.
Yeah, sorry,
Can
sorry,
they
ladies.
not? Can they not see the
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 true,
people listening cannot see it.
people
correct.
cannot? Right.
Yeah.
So I have a wife, very talented woman, Mimi Friedman. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout
the
out.
artist in her own right.
Artist in her own right. So after doing a bunch of years in Frockaway, we were like, let's do something new. So we're like, oh, let's go to Crown Heights. Let's be next to Zach. And then I said, well, if we go to Crown Heights, we're just gonna be like thinking about Chabad people every day. We're just gonna like be judging them and looking at them and just becoming like absorbed in like Chabad problems. So
I love this.
you know what I mean, though? Like,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
oh, this is why they do this, right? And so I was like, let's just go somewhere where we're not.
Their hats are so squishy.
Yeah, let's just go somewhere where there's like no from people, so we could just live and not that we don't love from people, we love from people, but if it's between that and Crown Heights,
Well, you don't have to lie.
and we want to live, what'd you say?
You don't have to lie.
I know I do
Nah, I'm
love from
joking.
people. I'm not lying. Yeah. If we're gonna be hip and if we're gonna live in Brooklyn, like let's do it for real. Let's not do it in like a Crown Heights half-ass. You know, there's 4 not Chabad people living there, and
Yeah.
I love Chabad people.
The snacks are actually dying out in Crown Heights.
They're dying,
They're
right?
dying
It's
out.
a short phase. The whole
It's
thing.
It's a
right.
transitory place for
Right.
snacks.
Right.
So hold on, that's what made you move to Williamsburg?
Yeah, we tried it out for a month. We liked it. We moved.
Cool.
Yeah. It's not a long-term thing. Like I don't see myself living there for the rest of my life.
Well,
We're-
first of all, no one raises
No
a
one.
family
Right.
in
Right.
Williamsburg.
Right.
Like, that's not
Right.
a
But
thing.
it's a cool like
You'll end up in
transitionary
Park
thing.
Slope.
Right. With like
if a
the
lot of things go right.
if a lot of things go right. Yeah.
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 No, that's awesome. Okay, so like, do you have like a favorite? You have like a bar you go to. You have like a music venue nearby. Like, what's nearby? What?
So we have a really cool coffee shop right near us. It's called Fiction. It's
Sick, man.
coffee during the day and it's alcohol at night. I'm not such a bar goer. Like I don't go to like when we first moved there. I was like, okay, like we have to go to bars because like we're here. But I'm realizing I'm not such a bar person. Like I'll go like once a week, once every. I don't know.
Once a week is a lot. That's a decent amount.
That is not a lot.
Is that- what do you
That
guys?
is very little.
What do you guys do here? Like when we lived here, I felt like there was nowhere to go. Like there's Long Beach.
Yeah, there's Long Beach.
Yeah,
Other
there's
than that,
not.
nothing.
Yeah,
We do
there's
nothing.
not. Right.
Depressed.
So you're
wildly
Right.
depressed.
The good thing about like living in Williamsburg is that it's so exciting. If you're at home for more than 4 hours, you're like, I can't. Like I have to go out. I'm paying all this money for rent. Like
Right.
I have to go see like what's going on.
It forces you to get
It
out
forces
of the
you to get out of the house. And if you're living in New York, it's to get out of the house. Like it's not.
Right.
It's not to
Which
stay.
is why
That's
COVID
the
sucked
Right.
so bad in New York.
Right.
Because
COVID
it's
was.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm paying all this money to really the worst place to live
Yeah.
if you can't go out.
Yeah. You gotta go out.
You
Yeah.
gotta-
You're a full-time musician? Is that, or
So-
you have also like a 9 to 5?
So I do not have a 9 to 5. So
have you ever had a 9 to 5?
I've never had a 9 to 5.
You skipped corporate America completely.
commend you.
I'm working on skipping it. Like I'm open that like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Centers is hiring.
We don't take it. So how have you supported
How
yourself?
have I supported? So it's a great question. So do we call giving music lessons music or not?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we call
Yeah.
that music.
Yeah.
You've leaned it
Yeah.
to me, yeah.
So I definitely struggled when I got married. I got married almost 5 years ago. So I didn't know what I was gonna do. I had a college degree that was completely useless. So I don't remember what I did in the beginning.
Well, does your wife work?
My wife works, but she's similar to me. She's a freelancer also. Yeah. So I slowly started getting into like giving lessons and trying to do gigs at the same time. So when I say gigs, I mean like I started singing, I started going to people's events and playing there. It's a very slow it was a very slow process. It's still a slow process, but between the
It might always be a slow process.
it might always be a slow process, right? But
It's competitive, right? A
like
little bit.
the
You have to
mu-
like make a name for yourself in the Jewish.
it's funny.
world.
People use the word competitive. I don't feel like I'm competing against like a specific person. Like it's competitive.
L11.
No, not at all. I love L11 and
I mean, professionally.
but like sometimes when I do a gig, they're like, "Oh, you're like similar to him," right?
Yeah.
But we're not exactly the same. But I think when I go to a gig, I try to kind of do some of the things
So
that
to be
that he
clear,
does.
what
Yeah.
you're saying you do for money is you give lessons, and then you also at night you'll do like bar mitzvahs, backyard barbecues, whatever it is.
Shower
Have you
brachas.
done weddings?
I love shower brachas. I've done weddings.
You've
yes.
done weddings.
I've done weddings. Not
That's
a ton.
Not a ton.
Not a ton.
Okay, but you've done. Like in front of a band, like in
Yeah,
front,
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
Yeah,
suit
yeah.
jacket, like
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
done weddings.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I feel like
cool.
you're okay. Cool.
That's
I
cool.
always when I was I'll be honest, I didn't do a ton of research into this.
That's
but,
good, right?
But I saw on Instagram it seemed more like you just like were
A lot of
doing a little-
backyards, a lot of
right.
kumsitzes, a lot of shower brachas,
A lot of
a lot
five
of
towns,
bards, a lot of
backyards.
five towns.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of it has been in the five towns.
right. You've
why
done.
why is that?
I think because I lived here and I was giving lessons to the kids here, and also my wife has like a lot of family here, so it just started here.
Got it.
It started here. Yeah.
Wow.
How
Yeah.
many like people your age, let's say, do you think are doing what you're doing?
Exactly.
Not exactly. I'm saying like do you think like there is people actually pursuing what you're doing, or you think like you're extremely unique?
In the frum world.
In the frum
In the
world.
frum world. Are you? You are.
I don't even like what I'm doing. Like what I'm doing. I mean, I like what I'm doing, but I don't approve of myself doing what I'm doing. Meaning, I have this very interesting combination of things that I'm interested in. So, I give music lessons to kids. Some of that's for money, but some of that, like, I just really enjoy it, especially with like certain kids. I love seeing kids grow. I love being that cool teacher that I didn't have. Did you guys do music lessons? Anyone? Did you do music?
Yeah, it was
You've
not,
done music.
it's not-
Right.
it was not
I
cool.
did not have a good experience with music lessons as a kid. So I'm like making up for that
Right.
by giving lessons. I love performing for people. So from people have a big passion for live music. People are constantly throwing down parties, making events. Every event has a singer, has a guy playing guitar. So I was like, oh, let me get into that. So I got into that. And then I also like writing songs, which is like a third branch of my life, which no one asked me to do that. That's just like my own thing that I'm passionate about.
Why is that like a unique combination? Why aren't those all like under the branch of music?
They are.
Got it.
Why
Okay,
is
so
it unique?
What I mean to say is that you want to be a musician.
I want to. Yeah.
Because most guys you see performing like at like gigs in the five towns don't have music coming out on Spotify that has nothing to do. It's not Hebrew. He's not writing Jewish songs. He's writing songs. He's a songwriter. He's going to be performing. You know it.
October
We'll get
30th.
to it.
October 30th.
Oh, I let out of the bag. Like he's going to be playing
Is
like
your
regular
goal
secular.
is your
gigs.
goal to get out of the frum world and the Jewish world and to become, I don't know, like what's your ideal self? Like if I was in your
Yeah.
shoes, my thing would be like, okay, I want to go to the moon. I want to be whatever. I don't know.
Justin
Ed
Bieber.
Sheeran. I have no clue. But
Right. I think if I could just like do my own music, I probably would. Like, yeah. I think like if my music could reach a wide audience, I would love to focus on that more.
What is your genre?
What is my genre?
What is genre?
We're
Genre's a
gonna
dead
really
concept.
Williamsburg this one up. What is genre?
It's just a dead concept. Like
I would
everyone-
call it alternative pop with
Okay.
like a strong rock influence. Yeah.
For lovers of, what's his name? We were just talking about him.
Just now?
Christian,
Snarky
no,
puppy?
before. No,
That's
James-
Snarky.
James Bay.
No.
That's what my next question
Yeah.
was to be is like, let's say famous people,
Right.
Who are your inspiration? Like, who are the people that like you would?
Who do I love?
Yeah.
Love. Oh, I love Theo Katzman, who I saw with Zach.
Okay.
And everyone in that universe. Although
I don't know who Theo
Can you give me a
Katzman is.
more- yeah,
Give
you
a
guys ever
mainstream.
heard
a
of-
mainstream name.
Yeah.
So Theo Katzman was
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the main guys involved. He
Oh,
has
you're from
so-
Cleveland.
Yes.
Right. So you're
Volpac is Cleveland.
Right.
Yes.
Volpac is Cleveland.
Cleveland Heights,
So
baby.
I got into Volpac in like 2016. So I feel like I'm an early adopter of Volpac, and I was very inspired by their like indiness. Their
and
like
their Jewish neurotic
and
energy.
extremely Jewish.
So
right.
Jewish, yeah.
Right. But there's a lot of artists that came out of that scene, and they're very, very talented. So everyone associated with that, I really like. More mainstream, I love Ed Sheeran. I love Ed Sheeran.
Got it.
I really like older music also.
Such as?
Like, go for it.
I love the Beatles.
Okay.
Everyone loves the Beatles.
Yeah, obviously.
But
No, it's
like-
actually become popular to like hate on the Beatles
Really?
online, and it's such a bad take.
I love
It's
the
such a bad
Beatles.
take.
You can never
Beatles are
stop.
amazing.
Yeah. I love Billy Joel. I love Stevie Wonder. I was listening to Sting on the way here. Yeah, I was like, Zach doesn't listen to Sting. That's what I was thinking of. When I was,
You were
yeah.
thinking-
I love old music. Everything you're naming right now, I love.
Yeah.
I just want to say, as an aside, like, we didn't just see each other at one concert. I have, for a while pre-COVID, during the golden era, when I was going out like twice, 3 times a week to shows, I bumped into you how many different times?
Right,
dude?
we
Like,
never went to a concert together, but we would always end up.
I've seen you at 7 shows.
Right.
7 different shows that we did not
Right.
plan on seeing each other. You're a huge music consumer. Like,
Yeah.
you just love music.
Yeah.
And I think it shows in the music and the singles that you've been putting out. Like, I hear a lot of different influences. You clearly just listen to a lot of different stuff.
Right. I don't think that way. I haven't gotten into anything new in a long time. Like the past, I don't know, year. I'm just re-listening to the same stuff over and over. Do you ever have that experience?
Of
where you're just
course.
like, I don't have any room in my brain for like new
Yeah,
stuff.
totally.
I
Shmuley
just
literally
wanna-
turns off my music every single time. He's like, you've been listening to the same song, the same Eric Clapton songs. Same 4 Eric Clapton
Million,
songs.
bro, it's the same songs.
Which 4
There's
Eric
a-
Clapton songs?
Tears in Heaven. Like, Tears in Heaven. Like, whatever.
He has like these 80s songs. Like when I just first met Label, he had these 80s songs that like he was either just shown as like a 19, 20, 21-year-old going through his growing pains, like coming of age. It's like a coming of age movie.
Yeah.
Okay? And he has like the same, and for probably 5 years, he had the same songs playing over and over. Okay, when we were living in the Tans, great story. I just hear My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion blasted in his room.
I must have been so depressed.
Bro, he was like, she has such a gorgeous voice, and it's just, the melody is gorgeous, and he would blast it, I'm not joking, for a week straight, every night, like, yeah, because that's all, and you had one other song, I don't know if you want me to mention it on the pod.
Don't mention. I think I know what you're talking about, but don't mention.
No, now it's got to be mentioned.
Okay, mention.
It's gotta be
I Want to Know What Love Is by
Yeah.
Foreigner. He would literally be sitting
I
in
love
his
that
car like this, I want to know what love is. Like literally just see, bro.
Aww.
Every car ride you would go on with him, that song would come on.
You're a good person. I would have murdered you.
Every single car ride, and then it would turn into like the same Pink and Rihanna songs every single time. It'd be
I was like all over.
but it was the same songs every time. So it was like, we
my
found love in a hopeless place. I want to know what love is. It was the same thing the entire time.
Label.
And he did not go away from it for probably 6 years.
6 years.
And then,
a solid 3 for sure.
and then our friend Baruch got him into Eric Clapton and a couple other things, so he was into that for just like he would.
You could do a lot worse than being into
No,
Clapton, though.
Right.
You could do a lot worse.
No, I got into Clapton because there was a point in my life where I used to smoke, and not a crazy amount of weed, but whatever. I was a once or twice a week guy, and I just. When you listen to like Eric Clapton, you want to vibe and just chill with weed. You don't want to be playing like Jay-Z, right? You want to just. It's funny because when I was first smoking with my buddy, when I used to smoke back in the day with Baruch, he used to I used to put on like Jay-Z. He's like, Label, if you don't turn that off right now, I'm leaving. Like I cannot vibe with you. Like we would smoke, and he's like, I'm not doing this. Like he would literally be.
It's not a chill. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, so he would put on. He's like, I said, okay, put on what you want, and he started putting on like Eric Clapton stuff, and I was like,
You got an education.
and I'm like, I'm actually good. Like when I was high, I'm like, I could really go with this. Like this is.
And
This
it
is the
stuck with
blues,
you
the
even
blues.
after smoking weed.
Well,
That's one of the best things
but
weed does for people is it gets them really into certain music for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
The rest of their lives. I just want to say,
I mean-
though, it's suffice to say, there's nothing wrong with listening to like Celine Dion or anything like that, like My Heart Will Go On. But if you listen to it over and over again, that is the clearest sign of depression. That's if you went to a psychiatrist and you're like, what are your symptoms? And you're like, I listen to Celine Dion. Oh, everyone listens to Celine Dion. No, I listen to the same song on repeat. He'd be like, who hurt you? You need pills.
Here's the like I would come back from school at night and it would just be blasting. Near far. Just like people shut it the fuck off. I'm trying to watch Family Guy.
Also, one last thing.
Well, homie was going through it.
One last thing that's hilarious is that I could go on and on about this, but Shmuley grew up in Cleveland, like he was very cultured. Right. When I was growing up,
a man of culture, Shmuley Warren.
No, but seriously speaking, like my first introduction to like Family Guy in any traditional show, like Friends, was at like 23 years old. Shmuley's like you've never watched an episode of Seinfeld? I'm like, no, I haven't. He's like, where the hell did you grow up?
I remember when I first showed him Family Guy, the guy was off his chair. He's like, what is this? He's watching like Peter Griffin, and he's like, why is unbelievable?
I'd seen some Family Guys, but I never like was getting
If
involved
you
with it.
showed a single episode of Family Guy to any of your grandparents, they would die on the spot. They would internally combust.
I watched Family Guy in high school in the Brooklyn Public Library. Like I may have been wearing a hat. I hope I was.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where did you grow
In
up?
Kensington.
You grew up in Kensington. And where did you go to yeshiva?
Tarabadas.
It's possible. I think he has the most
Yeah.
yeshivish credentials here, even more than you
Really?
label. I think so.
Why? What are your? But you're Chafetz Chaim.
Yeah, but I went to Chafetz Chaim, Brooklyn. It's
Right.
It's
Yeah,
more
You
right.
haven't met his
You
grandfather.
wore a blue shirt in high school.
No, because I was in, let's say, Chafetz Chaim, Brooklyn.
Oh right, they
You can't.
switched to white shirts.
They changed the
Right,
shkaf.
people
They
were
changed
upset
the
about
Sorry.
that. Right.
Yeah, Brooklyn does that.
Right, the whole Masorah is to wear like blue shirts.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they-
yeah.
Yeah, Chafetz Chaim
That's the whole Masorah, by the way. That's the whole Masorah. Guys, we don't learn. We just come in with a blue shirt, 9 hours, sit
Well,
down,
that-
leave.
That's what differentiated them from like everyone else.
That's what Chafetz Chaim guys are like afraid the rest of the world thinks. What's your yeshiva about? Blue shirts.
Blue shirt, Jimmy Charles Salanter, this is what we do.
Oh.
Chafetz Chaim out.
I grew up. Me and Shmuley grew up much different than you two guys.
Right.
Like, I watched Family Guy. Like I think I watched it with my parents once in a while. Like,
I
we just
never
grew up
watched
watching.
anything
Yeah.
with my
You grew up
parents.
with-
I
Yeah.
grew
Came home
up
from
when I was
school?
8 years old. I grew up, the rabbi, the Rosh Yeshiva of Witz used to come to my house because my brothers
To
went
watch
there.
Family Guy
No.
with you.
By the way, he used to come to like to make his rounds in order to try to recruit kids, and my father and mother would have to tell me, be like, Shmoo, that's what they call me. Like, I was like 7 years old. You have to turn on Family Guy. Like Rabbi Chaplitz is coming. And I'm just like, no, it's the last episode. And like he would like come in and it would like be on the TV and you'd see like Quagmire go giggity giggity goo. All right.
Wait, you watched that at 7 or you were?
Yeah, like 7, 8 years
that's
old. Yeah,
crazy.
because I'm the youngest in my family, so like we would go on
Right,
family
right.
road trips. I'm watching
That's what
Seinfeld.
happens when you're the youngest. You
This is why
get
I'm
a
so
lot
messed
more
up.
educated. What are you? Oldest,
I'm
youngest?
number 4.
Right. So is that closer to?
I have 9 siblings, so
Right,
I'm
right.
sort of in the middle.
So
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of. I'm
Is
the
that how many
oldest of
siblings you
8.
You have 1 sibling?
It's me and my bro.
Really?
And I was practically raised as an only child because by the time I was like old enough to have a brain, he was in yeshiva.
Right,
Got it.
same age as
Yeah.
my brother Rami.
Got it.
When you're the oldest, I think that you're actually more sheltered.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's a child's
Your parents
home.
are doing the most.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
really do this
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
By the time you're the
This
last
is-
one, they're like,
yeah.
he'll turn out fine, I'm sure.
Guys,
Or he totally won't.
This is why I turned out who I was. I saw Kramer from Seinfeld. I'm like, that is a functional life to live. And I'm like, I would love. Wait a second. He gets what he wants. What he wants. He does no work. Women love him. I don't understand. And I'm just like, that is my template. I am Cosmo Kramer.
Did women? I'm not a big
Women
Seinfeld
loved
fan.
Kramer.
was like a player.
He had like he had like charm whenever
Jerry
he
was
wanted.
like
No,
the player.
Jerry was the player, but Kramer, whenever he wanted to, he'd be like, yeah, like yeah, and he would just go, and they would love him.
I always said,
And
by
no
the
one
way,
knows how he
number
kept
one
his apartment.
fictional wardrobe I'd want is Kramer. The dude was a style icon. He dressed crazy.
He was unbelievable.
He's a really cool guy. Yeah.
I'm realizing now. I'm actually just right now. I think this is the template of why I believe that I could live the life I live.
You're like figuring things out about yourself.
I'm Kramer.
I actually think that is the one wardrobe I actually would not want to have. So
Yeah, different strokes, different folks. I wouldn't want you in Kramer's wardrobe either.
good stuff.
Okay.
yeah. Do you want to ask me another question?
I do want to say that. Okay, then.
I love this guy.
Yeah, I'm the celebrity here. Guys, shut the fuck up.
Guys,
I
can
don't
we
give
bring
a
the
fuck.
attention back to We're so sorry when you get all the green M&Ms out of your M&Ms.
Green M&Ms. I want to say I don't know if people who come here are usually because you didn't have a lot of guests recently. You had Zach. Oh, Zach's a guest, right?
Zach is now a co-host.
Zach's a co-host.
I moved up in life.
I'm sorry if this is the best you can offer.
Excuse me. Being a co-host on Mislabeled is a very
No.
I'm
Prestigious.
talking about,
No, he's talking about
bringing
himself.
me because like this is like
yeah.
like your contribution to the podcast so far has been that you
You're
brought me
being-
as a
you're a
guest.
great
Right,
guest.
Thank you.
You're a
We
legend.
actually tried to do a podcast also.
Don't even mention
And in the-
that.
I gotta hear about this.
In the end, he was consoling me why my life is not terrible. And I don't know.
So you guys went to therapy on a public platform.
We didn't have cameras though.
It was like, it's gonna be fun and chill. And it's just, he was going through
what
it.
I'm saying is you guys have a real talent, like the host, because I love talking, but the hosting part is you gotta know how to keep it going.
Oh,
And-
Well, we
and-
all love the sound of our own
and-
voice so much.
I don't understand.
But
how
I will
people
say
listen.
that I totally, what you just said is a very good, what's the word I'm looking for? A very good awareness. I'm not using the right word. But the point is that, yes, being a host, one-on-one for sure, keeping the flow of a podcast is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. That's why, honestly,
No,
like,
there's talent in podcasting. It's not
Totally.
just like getting on there and being a personality.
and interviewing
yeah,
specifically.
Yes.
those
Yeah.
white men deserve our money and
Yeah.
our respect.
No, like we
Zach, you
sucked.
made-
Our
you
first
made a
5
s-
episodes sucked.
I actually didn't think so. I listened back to your
Do you
first.
guys know this? He's like the biggest this label fan. He actually
What?
I'm not the biggest. I mean, I
listen-
watched a bunch of
I
episodes.
checked out. Well, I saw it when it came out. I think I saw it right away because you were like pushing like the Julia Hart thing or
Yes,
something.
yes.
So
I wasn't so.
Can we just look back on that?
Unbelievable. Looking back, by the way, our evolve like labels. I would say labels evolution from putting thousands of dollars on the table to try to get Julia Hart on, to realizing Julia Hart's not coming on.
Hold on one second. Can we just look back on the Julia Hart thing? Like, how out of my box was I?
You were. I should have checked you in somewhere.
I'll tell you why, because I don't really fully regret what I did. Not regret. I definitely
You
don't
do what
regret.
you do.
No, I
you
don't
still have the
regret.
same passion. You you're saying is you still have the same passion towards how wrong you think she was.
Yes,
But regardless, we're not going back there. What you were doing at that time, I should have checked.
Lord help you if you get in Label Wiener's crosshairs. If he thinks, just follow this man's. Every once in a while he goes full goblin mode on Instagram and WhatsApp, and he just has an enemy in his crosshairs, and he's like, I will take you down if I die too. I don't care. You're going down.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
They say the only thing
Passionate
more
man.
dangerous than someone with all the resources in the world is a man who has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So it's the same
And
idea.
depending on how Label wakes up in the morning, he doesn't know which one he has.
Yeah, no, Zach is right. It happens to be that line made no sense in this context. I'm thinking about it now.
No, some days you wake up, you're like, I have all the resources in the world, and I'll kill someone that way. And then some days you wake up, you're like, I have nothing to lose, I'll kill someone that way.
Someone's dying.
Regardless, Label suicide bombing someone.
Yeah.
We have a really fun segment on the show where at some point every show Label makes sure that everyone else knows he has more money than.
No, I do not. That is such utter bullshit. I will hold on.
Isn't it cute how embarrassing?
Hold on one second. I will defend myself against that 100%. I almost never bring it up. The only time I brought it up is when you started being my financial advisor. Okay? And I said, given your current state, you cannot be my financial advisor. And I think that has a lot of validity to it.
Keeping this absolute wreckage of human being afloat at all, the fact that I'm not in bankrupt, that means I could be a financial
He
advisor.
could advise lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
All right.
But
Let's move weiter, as they say in yeshiva. We do have some more questions
Yeah,
for you.
sure.
I want to talk about the actual music. Your most recent single.
Oh my god, it sounds so official.
It's come on, this is it. It's
yeah.
official. So I was involved in this because you made a music video. So tell us a little bit about that single and about that music video, about that project.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep you guys interested also, cause it's my stupid song. Yeah. The song's called "Asking for a Friend," like asking for a friend. You know, like sometimes people post asking for a friend.
Yeah.
So I noticed that since I put out that song, all my WhatsApp contacts stopped using that term, like on WhatsApp. I kind of like killed the term forever. Because I like when you're asking for a friend. Ha ha ha. Right. So it's a cool song. I wrote it. I try to do a lot of writing, and most of it is not good, which I think is normal for
Yeah,
for
I think
writing.
that's in all creative
Yeah, I
spaces.
think
It's
that's-
like
yeah.
90% of what you do is crap, and then you hit
Right.
certain things.
Right.
You just have to keep on going and going and going and going until you knock something
Exactly.
out.
Yeah.
Something comes about it. You throw a lot of shit at the
Yeah,
wall.
so I throw a
Yeah.
lot of shit at the wall with my writing. So this was not a song that I really even realized I wrote. Like, I was just writing stuff, and maybe Okay, I think I know what happened. It's very hard when you write a song. You write
both
songs.
Yes,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, also.
So I feel like one of my challenges with songwriting is to have a chorus, a high part that's not
Don't call it a high part.
from people listening.
High five!
The chorus has to be you soaring and straining your voice.
Exactly. So metaphorically also, like you always want to like give like a hopeful message in the chorus. I feel like that, and that could be my like color war background. You know, that, like every song needs to be
That's
like
the camp Rafi in you.
somewhat like positive, and like if you actually look at songs,
I don't think that has to be.
it doesn't. It doesn't. But
He just feels that
but
way.
my mind kind of goes there. Like
Right.
I write like a depressing verse, and then I'm like, oh, my
How do we
chorus,
make it happen?
my chorus, kind of like you were doing with me on my podcast. Like you were trying to like solve my problems, right?
No, and I was actually, it's funny that you say that, not to steer thunder, but me and Zach were playing in my room the other day. and I don't know, it just came out weird.
We were having a play date?
They were playing Legos. But no, I was showing him a song that I wrote, and I was like, there was either a bridge or the chorus part, and I was not sure whether to keep it like very depressed and very,
Right.
like into the storyline, or whether to like make it hopeful. And I was like, I'm not sure which one to do, because like the entire verse is very depressive. But like I'm not sure if I want to keep with that theme or like give it like some sort of hope, because you think that your listeners want like some sort of hope.
Right. So it's okay to do that sometimes for me, but I feel like it can't be every song has to end on a positive note. People have the struggle in like movies and books.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the movie has to have a happy ending. Like, anyway.
When you hear a song though and it stays sad the whole time, you get a certain catharsis out of it.
Right.
Anytime I watch a movie and it doesn't end happily, I'm so upset that I spent that time
Yeah,
investing in that.
interesting.
I feel horrible afterwards.
100%.
You want it to end.
So
Right.
why? But you're saying that not every single one has to have a positive ending.
Exactly.
So he's saying it should, because otherwise you just feel
I'm
shitty.
not
afterwards.
saying it. No, I'm
He
talking
said
about
that he
movies.
feels that with movies.
I think the
yeah.
difference between movies and music is movies you're investing an hour,
Right.
and a half, 2 hours of your time. Music, it's a 3.5 minute thing. If I want to get past it, I can then play a happy song right after.
Right,
Well
exactly.
To my mind, I think that is somewhat related to our religious backgrounds. I think that people with religious backgrounds, we are used to putting a positive spin, putting like
On, like,
that's
the
our-
world.
on
Right.
the world.
Yeah.
On like there's this very strong strain of redemption running through like our mindset, and I think that a much more honest songwriting is sometimes you're just sad
So
about
it's very
something.
interesting because I can count on like one hand how many Jewish songs with English lyrics have that sadness without the happiness.
I think it's zero.
So I would think there's zero.
You would think.
I found two, and I showed it to my wife, to Mimi. I'm like, oh my god, there's like actually a song that like is just expressing sadness without like promising Mashiach at the end
Like
of it.
ones that people would know.
What about the ones
Like-
with like?
Yeah, let's hear
No, like
it, yeah.
Shema Yisrael by Shweki, like that. The most of it's depressing, and then Shema Yisrael is like it's like
But
a
he's
hopeful
saying
thing.
no hope.
Yeah,
Right,
No,
that's
But
hope.
what I'm saying.
there are actual
There's
okay.
others.
I want to hear. What are the two songs?
Can anyone name them? So first of all, there's one that none of you know because it's on
The
like
Holocaust Journey song.
Mama
Yes.
Rafa. Memories.
Okay, no,
Mama
not
Rafa.
not memories because memories.
Memories is kind of hopeful, no?
Memories.
No, it's
yes.
sad.
Yet one thought gives me comfort.
Right.
Oh.
There's more, right?
That's true, that's
yeah.
right.
So it's people have a hard time just putting out something that's just like
'Cause that
depressing.
song would be so
now,
sad.
Now with
Oh
the
my
new,
God.
with
It
the new,
is sad
yeah.
even without that.
Yeah.
Even with that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what's the song?
So with the new Journeys album, which I listened to, you guys, Baby Rottenberg,
The one that
Journeys?
just came out.
Yeah, the one that just came out.
I
on
didn't
Friday,
listen.
right.
Not that it's not good. I don't know.
So I checked it out, and I actually
you don't want to
heard-
offend A.B. Romberg on this pod. He will come after you.
No, AB. Listen.
He might
I
come
think he's
on.
actually a great songwriter.
He might come
What
on.
do you mean?
He's fantastic.
Of the best
Yeah.
that
He's might be like the only songwriter.
That's
like
that's Jewish.
yeah,
He's the
yeah,
strong
yeah,
cable,
yeah.
sure.
He might be like yeah. So he actually said before the album came out, he's like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of Holocaust songs here, guys. Like I'm warning you, like people are forgetting about the Holocaust. This is gonna be like a Holocaust album, and there's one song.
What about Teardrop? Oh no, it also ends.
Yeah.
With her, the light, the candle. light.
Yeah, there's always
Okay,
something,
go,
right?
go, sorry.
So there's this one song, I don't remember what it's called, but Sholem Lemmer sings it, and it's just like, there was a Holocaust, we all got killed. Like, that's the song.
It's amazing.
That's unreal.
And I was like, great, like, finally.
Right,
And
just
the
be sad.
Yeah, and I needed this song on my phone because one of the boys I was teaching wanted to learn it. So it was like, it wasn't on Spotify yet, so I like bought it on Apple. Apparently you could buy music on like Apple Music. It's like the iTunes thing, like you could still buy a song.
Oh,
from
like
it.
for 129?
Yeah. I didn't even know that's still possible.
Right, 'cause-
So I bought it, and then I got a new car, And for some reason, every time I started my car, that song.
I have the same
Because
thing.
I'll tell you why. Because the song probably starts with an A, and it's the first thing, and you're like,
No, I have the exact same thing. I bought a song 8 years ago.
Yes, yeah.
Literally, and every time it's my alarm. Not only that, and if I'm listening, the most annoying freaking thing. No, just because I set
You
an
have a high
alarm.
tolerance for the same song.
No, every single time. Sometimes I'll be
what
like,
label doesn't like change?
I'll give you something that's even more annoying. Every time I'm on Bluetooth on my car and I'm on like a high volume because I need to hear the person, and then the phone call ends, it's like boom, and it just explodes.
So for you, it's that. For me, it's like
So
Sean
good.
Lemmer like crying about the Holocaust.
Imagine, oh my god.
I had to delete it because I know I paid a lot of money for this, but I cannot have this.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah.
Hold on, I've always wanted to do something here, and I just never done it. Guys, you know that Shimoli has a beautiful voice, right?
Yes, of course.
Shimoli, can you please sing the high part of Me Etain?
Oh no, I already did it.
No, but we didn't release the podcast where you did.
No, let Ben or Zach do it.
No, you do it.
No,
You have a beautiful
we're good.
voice.
I hate this idea.
No, it's a terrible idea. I
I know, bro.
Anyway, so
We're gonna have
No,
a
Label's a great friend. He always tries to push. It happens to be. I probably wouldn't be as into piano as I am now. Like when I bought the one in the Tans because Label's like, bro, you're a talented musician. You should like pursue it for yourself.
Label's
And I
an
did.
enabler. He's
He's an enabler.
isn't enabler like a
Yes.
bad thing?
Correct. I was about to say, enabling is not a good
He's not an enabler. He's not an enabler.
I'm also an enabler.
He's still an enabler.
But this is not an
No,
example.
but he sees things that like actually like I'm good at or things, and he was like pushing. He's like one of the reasons I actually got comfortable at any point of doing any of this stuff is because like we used to push me when I was younger to like pursue things I was at. Like we were in Yeesh Boys Choir together and things like that.
We
but,
were in
like,
what?
She was choir.
Say it again.
What?
What were we in?
What were we in?
What were we in?
Don't we remember?
Do you still have the cummerbund somewhere?
What? Did Zach have a duet on one of the songs? Oh my God, is he a celebrity?
Yeah, I didn't know this about you. You're a very humble guy.
I'm a washed up Jewish
He's like me. He's like me.
superstar.
Yeah.
No, Zach is a esteemed dancer.
I know. Oh, that we know. That's public, right?
And he was the lead soloist in the Yeshiva Boys Choir
soloist.
concerts.
Really? He has a better voice than usually?
He did when we were a kid, and now we
He
have
has a
different
great
voices.
voice.
Yeah,
Different voice,
I would say we have different voices.
That's
I didn't
That's
even know you were.
subjective.
I didn't
It's
even.
very subjective. Zach has a more, I would say, in my opinion, he has a little bit more of a. You have a lighter voice, and mine's a little bit more.
Something I've told Ben
like-
before is the music I want to make in life is very like lo-fi indie stuff, but God gave me a voice I have like a very pop voice.
He has a
Totally.
voice. You know what your
Pop
voice
voice.
reminds? It's like John Bellion. Like that,
Which is a huge
Which is a huge
compliment.
compliment. He's got an amazing voice, but that's not like my voice is more a little bit more
other person
country.
who said that exact thing was the guy I make music with, Rafi Burritos. Shout out Rafi Burritos.
Yeah, I didn't even
Oh, he
start
just
talking
followed
about-
us on our account, by the
Well,
way.
Lord, we'll talk about
Because
it.
I told him that I'm coming.
We're gonna
here,
have him on
so
the
if
pod.
I-
Oh, yeah?
No,
yeah.
he's a legend.
Zach can hit
Yeah,
notes
yeah.
that I possibly can in terms of like his range, and I probably hit notes that are a little lower. It's just different. It's different voices. That's also when
He
you
also
realize
has a better head of hair, which is just
when it
worth
comes
a
to
lot.
music, you realize like when you're a kid, or even like when you're like in the Jewish world, it's like who has the biggest range? Simcha Liner's got a huge range. Shwekey's got like this big range. Like every
A huge range.
Dude, I heard Shrike's range is massive.
No, but like that's how you really like when you're a kid, like
Right,
if you're
if
a
you
really
can
good
sing
singer,
high,
it's like
then you're
correct.
good,
If you're like in
right,
yeshiva, like can you
right,
lead the
right.
kumsitsis because you can
Right.
hit the highest note and the
Right.
highest harmonies, and like you realize when you're like really like either playing music or listening to music, like people that are even the most talented in the non-Jewish world, it's not necessarily about their range, it's about how they use their voice and like their ability to
Totally.
like navigate it. Like even one guy, like his voice is very high, but it's like John Mayer. His voice he has a really high voice, but it's very very what's the word? Like not monotone, but it's very. It doesn't have a high range. Like
He
John
stays in his
he
pocket.
stays
He
in
has
his
a very
pocket.
small range,
He's a very small
Yeah,
range. Correct.
yeah,
He
yeah.
stays in his pocket.
Stays in
And
his
it's
pocket.
like, but everyone knows he's a great artist.
me
He's
and
like a
Ben
quarterback. He's
are-
like Brady. He doesn't run around in the
Correct,
pocket. He's
exactly.
not Mahomes, but he stays
Correct.
in the pocket.
But like when you're a kid,
Good muscle. I like that.
like
correct.
muscle.
I like
Look
that.
good.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
every
know any of the
person-
people you just talked about.
You don't know Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady?
I know Tom Brady. I don't know
Tom
Patrick
Brady.
It's like every kid wants the fireworks. It's like even like in basketball. I don't know if you play sports. Like
So
now
I'm like
we'll do one sports
I know
analogy. It's like
nothing, but
every
you can
person
do it,
wants to be.
Do you know who Patrick Mahomes is?
No, but I know Tom Brady is. I don't know anything about. I know
Legal's like
Okay, go on.
upset to be.
Yeah, I was just
sharing
gonna be like
it.
every kid wants to be Steph Curry because it's the flash. Everyone
yes.
wants to be able to sing really high. But when you get into music, you realize like that's not.
Yeah,
it's a good tool. It's awesome to be able to have it.
It's good to be LeBron.
You stay in your
It's good,
pocket. You're not
you
a
know?
crazy range guy.
I have a big range, but I don't sound like.
At least in your recorded music, I've noticed you kind of stay within a certain range, and you hit it. You're
That's
golden.
actually not true.
Really?
Like the
Boom.
first.
I gotta re-listen.
I actually like this Young Boy that I put out. That song, it's too big. Like the range is too big. I have a hard time singing it.
Oh.
So I write in very big ranges because I'm trying to make it interesting. And that's also a problem.
Dramatic,
Like,
right.
don't do that. Like, keep it in like an octave and half. Keep it.
I just want to
easy.
say that
Yeah.
your last single, Asking for a Friend,
Yeah.
is like an actual bop.
Thank
like
you.
it is
Thank you.
one of the catchy
Yeah.
songs that any of my friends. Honestly, just a catchy song.
I
It deserves to be
appreciate
hit.
that. Thank you. Thank
I want you to talk a little bit about your.
So I was gonna tell you the chorus. So
Yeah.
so that was my way of like dealing with the sadness. Like, oh, the verse is sad, and the chorus is like denial. It's like ha ha ha. All these problems that I just mentioned, they're not my problems. I'm asking for a friend. Like someone else has these problems. That was the whole shtickle.
Yeah.
And it's all Rafi. Rafi's like a great producer.
Great thought process.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
a
love
really
that.
that's a
It's like
cool,
a boundary. It's a boundary
clever-
approach.
It's
a
very
clever-
cool.
Interesting.
Like I'm not gonna play savior. Like I have my problems that I need to work on. You have your problems that you need to work on, and I'm not gonna
Right,
just
right.
take on your problems,
Right.
Yeah.
which a lot of people like
And
doing.
if I'm correct, you shopped around a little bit for producers before you landed on Rafi.
Yeah, I shopped around a little bit.
This is something people I don't think who are outside the music world
I
understand.
shopped around with myself. You know, meaning I bought a MacBook. I always had a MacBook. I tried to do things on my own.
You tried to produce yourself.
Yeah. Actually, with the first song, I have produced a song by myself. My
Which
song,
one?
Jordan, is
Jordan's?
my production. Yeah.
Should have used Lion Entertainment.
What do you guys offer?
Lion Entertainment.
What do you know? What do you?
We'll throw a
He will
dank
pu-
kiddish.
He will push everything on every platform.
No, but what do you offer in terms of no? When we say production, we're not talking about like getting a concert or that for sure. Like I'm down, very open to that. I'm talking about like actually like recording the song, like getting the instruments into the computer.
Audio? Into the
Audio.
soundboard.
No, they will kindly.
Yeah.
I,
produce
I,
any
I have a very high end soundboard
Yeah,
right
but
here.
you need someone. You need no. It's a good question. It's a good question.
He's doing this so well.
I'm joking, by the way.
He's joking. He's
Obviously.
joking.
Not being serious.
He knows.
Obviously.
But explain this process to me.
I
Because
know.
why is this not a thing? Just elaborate
so-
your point.
So are we being? Do you want to know?
Explaining why
I'll
what I'm
explain it,
saying
right.
is not a
Right.
good
So
What is
listen.
producing?
So
Yes.
it's a
But
great
be entertaining
question.
the entire time you explain it.
Right, because we don't want to lose people to like shop.
I don't care how you make the music, just make it.
Just make more.
The famous Jerry Seinfeld angle. It's like when you go on a plane, they're telling you how you're going to get to LA. It's like, I don't give a crap how we're going. Just get me to the place where it says on the ticket, you know?
Yeah.
Like that idea. But yeah.
So to make it very not boring, I'll try. So music production is basically deciding what the drums should do, what the bass should do, what the guitar does. You know, there's a billion different
What
ways.
that guitar do?
Yeah, you know, do you want it to sound like a rock song? Do you want it to sound like a pop song, like alternative, like hip hop? Like just because you have a melody and chords doesn't mean you have a style to your music. So production is just making it that style. And I don't have such a producer's head. I have like a little bit of a producer's head. So like with Young Boy, my first song that I put out this year, I have put out music in the past, but this year. So I did start producing it by myself, and then I just kind of got stuck in the middle. I was like, I'm not gonna get this. So I called Rafi, and really, really talented guy. You want to talk about Rafi?
For 1 second.
Yeah, just a second.
I've
Yeah.
made music with him. I'm on his album.
Yeah.
He put out like an album of productions with different singers, which also features your most recent single. He produces for you. He produces for a few of my other friends. This kid's 20 years old in Flatbush. I would love to get him on the pod. He's
So
one
he-
of the most talented people
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
ever met in my
yeah.
entire life.
He's going places.
Yeah,
He's actually going
he's
to the
in
moon.
places. Yeah,
He's already in, yeah. He's the most in-demand director right now for like, he did all of Mordechai. He's predominantly a musician producer. On the side, he's a director. He's a, video director. He directs all the music videos and produces them for Mordechai Shapiro.
Really?
Yeah.
Colorizes them, edits them. Yeah.
Wow.
Directs them.
By
So-
himself.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, I happen not. Yeah.
When it
I'm not gonna go into
happens,
this.
one thing is that Mickey, well, our friend,
Hahn?
yeah, he randomly he was posting something on his status, and he's like something about like, can anyone know this song that I'm playing except for Zach Adler? And
Yeah.
then he had Is It Over Now, and I didn't even know you made a song. I had no clue. And he had Is It Over Now as like one of the songs, like, and I was like, okay, Rafi Burrito's like Zach Adler, and then I listened, I'm like, bro, that's a dope song.
Thank you, man.
Like I was listening to it like a couple days ago, I was like, this is a shtickle bop right
Over
here.
a
Put it out,
crown.
Zach?
Yeah, Zach has a song on
Zach has a
Spotify
song.
with
What?
Rafi
So
Burritos.
I have
He's a
songs that
singer
I've
on
written
it.
myself. which I will eventually one day get produced.
Can I say one thing? I did not know.
No, but this is on Spotify.
I did not know that you are a singer. I didn't have a voice.
He's totally a
very good
singer.
voice.
Like I always knew
Totally.
dancer, yes. I did
No,
not
Zach is a
even
very good
know
voice.
that you are like.
Maybe I am humble. People
No,
don't
Zach
know.
is a very good voice.
You are humble.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you, just
that-
have bad,
that's-
you just have bad marketing. That's all it is.
Give it to me straight.
By the way, it is. Like,
you-
I didn't
You're
how did I
right.
not
I
know
agree.
about this.
I agree.
Do you have a good song? Like, why does everyone not know about
You
it?
know what? Today I'm gonna push the shit out of that song. I'll tell you, it's not my song. I mean, I didn't write it. I literally was a hired vocalist. It was a song written by Rafi, and he put out a whole album recently of songs he wrote
And other people
produced.
sang.
He's
and
like
other
DJ
people sang.
Khaled.
He is literally
That's
better,
what I'm
more
saying.
talented than DJ
He's like
Khaled.
the Jewish DJ Khaled.
He is the Jewish DJ Khaled. He is gonna hate that. He's not gonna like that. He is. He's Jewish, but I'm very excited because hopefully, unless something gets cut, the next album that he already is almost done working on, because he's also a freaking workhorse. I'm on like 4 or 5 songs. Like,
That's awesome.
It's I'm very excited. It's been
right.
such a
Does he ever
good-
play? Does he ever like create shows?
Not yet. I would love it if he did, and especially
too.
he could bring he could bring me, Ben,
Right,
and all
I'm
these
saying
other
you bring all the
artists.
artists
So,
together.
my
That'd be
show-
Is
dope.
Rafi you're talking about?
Yeah, that would be dope. And
Produced
like,
by Lion Entertainment. It's perfect.
Let's make
By
this
the way,
happen.
this is a
no, by the way,
yeah,
by the
let's
way,
make
it's
it
a
happen.
totally perfect
Now
situation.
that I got the funds, because I'm rich, of course. Zach.
Hey, I love that so much.
By the way, the problem is if we take this clip and put it on social, everyone's gonna think that I'm like being
What?
serious.
You are serious.
are
No,
not
I'm not being
serious.
serious. No, I'm not. I'm not being serious.
He's not
I'm
being
making
serious.
a joke.
He's not being serious.
That's
That's rich,
bad
but
marketing.
you're being serious that you would love to do this.
Yes, that I would love to do,
Okay.
but
because he has the
And
means.
if you're listening to the pod, where's my camera? If you're listening to the pod and you need some event produced, you call my man Label Wiener.
you should
call
know
him
something.
right now.
I had someone call me up asking me to produce it was a yeshiva, and they're like, hey, we're doing a Achnasa Sefer Torah, like with a big dinner and everything. Can you produce, like, we want to do a concert, like an hour and 90-minute concert. A 90-minute concert to, after the Achnasa Sefer Torah dinner, whatever.
Sick.
So I was like, yeah, you're going to need MBD, like I was talking like I knew what the hell I was talking about.
Wow.
And I could have done it 100%. Then I'm like, I just don't have the time, honestly, which is the truth. I didn't have the time.
Right.
I didn't want to be busy with it because it's not a...
Do you think you could have delivered though? You would have gotten MVD and everything?
I mean, they have to pay for it, so sure, why not?
Okay, but you would have delivered an incredible event.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Label
know.
always delivers.
I mean, I always.
Label
Yeah,
does.
I don't like
Label
doing
delivers.
things that are not
Label is,
grandiose.
Label has not half-assed something since 1998.
Since Yeshiva.
I didn't have as yeshiva.
No,
I would
Label,
argue
Label,
that I was
Label
so.
has not half-assed something since kindergarten.
I would argue that I'm so intense that I burned out of it. I didn't have acid.
You know what?
And
I
then, by the
believe
way,
it.
you were saying about the
believe
weed before. I mean, I was smoking because that's what the weed did for me. Like aside from listening to Eric Clapton, like the goal was for me to like bring
Chill
the
out.
intensity. It was like medication, bro. It was
Bro,
just bring.
you've never seen a more chilled out human being knock down 12 donuts.
Oh yeah, I would order from Dunkin' Donuts.
Weed does do that.
No, yeah.
Leo, you were in the yeshiva system till 23.
No. I was in the
an
yeshiva
early
system until
leaver.
like 17, 18.
Oh, so
Yeah.
what's the intensity? Like when did that happen?
Wow, what a call out. What a call out.
I can't get into that right now. Listen, I'm not gonna. I've been in therapy for 11 years discussing this precise question. And I am not going. I'm not going to try to summarize $150,000 worth of therapy in a 10-minute conversation. That would be doing it an injustice.
That is a hilarious take.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
But weirdly, to bring this all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, like back to you're writing choruses, right? That's I think where it all started. We were talking about like, so then we started talking about like music and everything, but like asking for a friend, right? So now also you have more coming out. Like what's going
So there's
on?
another song. I don't know when it's gonna drop. It's called "Cynical World," where I'm trying to address my cynical nature. I feel
You
like
seem like you have a cynical nature.
I-
You have a very outwardly joyous.
Yes.
I am joyous, and it's outwardly. I don't know.
No, like on your face, like
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
people you see and you're like, oh, that guy is like, you have a warm.
Yeah.
You have a
demeanor.
Shayna Punim.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you have
Thank
a
you.
warm.
By the
demeanor.
way, I'm like, as I'm like having this pod with you, I'm like we should chill. We should have a good time. Like, you
Label
seem-
always does that. When he meets, by the way, when Label meets a
You seem
person
like a
that
good
at the end of the day is a good dude, he's like, We should become best friends.
That's exactly what he said to me.
I am, but I'll tell you
And
what.
now me and Label are best
peeps.
friends. And he's my boss.
It's very, very hard to find, in my
Good
opinion,
peeps.
good people. I always say this. Like, it's
Maybe
hard.
this whole
exist.
thing is just for you to find friends. Like
This is like Conan
Maybe
needs a
that's totally
friend.
labeled. It's so labeled by
No,
friends.
but it's very hard. I feel like that. Listen, I feel the same way with like music. Like I put out music, and now I'm finally getting to talk to musicians that I want to have a relationship with.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, you're like in the same world as I am. You know.
Right.
Do you feel like
So-
the recent singles have like gotten rid of a little bit of your own what's that
Insecurities?
syndrome? But
Imposter
it's just
syndrome?
Imposter syndrome, where you could walk into Williamsburg and meet like a real guy, like a real like
So
not
my
just
guyish
singer
neighbor,
and be like, I'm you.
yeah.
Right, like I'm a musician too.
Yeah, my guyish neighbor knows the names to all my songs.
That's
Could
crazy.
be he just
dope.
looked it up right before talking
Who
to me.
cares?
That's gotta be a
amazing.
good feeling.
But
though.
I was like, oh, you have to come to my show. You'll be like the guy at the show. Like I can't wait. You know.
You must have felt great about that.
Oh my god, you're gonna bring a guy to the show. He is. Oh my god,
But God,
unbelievable.
you really, I'm actual fan of your music, and
Thank you.
it's like it's for so much more than Jews. Like it's not Jewish music; it's just music.
But it's
good
it's
music.
also for Jews.
of course
Yeah,
Jews
I
are
love
people
That gives
too.
you so much more
Yeah,
variety
yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
Right.
Bro, you should be shooting for the freaking stars. Hell
You don't say Mashiach's name once in any of your songs. Yet.
Zach, that joke bumped.
Oh wow.
And just,
Label, we have a
like-
conversation later about podcast etiquette.
Yeah, but
Zach, I'm allowed to. Come on, hold on a second.
yeah, he's allowed to
You make
roast-
fun of
yeah,
me.
we roast him.
You roast me, I
That's
roast
so
you.
true. We
That's how it
roast
works.
the
You
shit out of
can't.
Wait, like, I gotta plug one more thing. So the song "Cynical World"
Wait a
coming
second, I
out.
gotta plug one more
Yes,
thing.
you deal with your shit.
I drove all the way from Williamsburg. I'm gonna plug all the shit I can fucking plug.
All right,
There you go.
it's like Hot Wings. Tell us what you got going on.
I'll plug it at the end.
No, plug it now. Plug it
Plug it now. We might not even get
There's
to
a
it.
music video for "Asking for a Friend." It's done. We haven't put it out yet, but when does this podcast come out? In like
In a week and a
In
half.
a week and a half. It'll be out by then. Zach is heavily featured in the music video as a musician/actor. And for the music video, I didn't just get musicians. I got like musicians who are just wild characters. So
Well, tell who else is in
so
it.
Rafi's in it. Bob, do you guys know Bob?
Is that the guy who edits?
No. Oh yeah,
That is the guy
That is
who
the guy who
edits.
edits. But they've never met
These
Bob.
are all underrated personalities that are just
I love this.
very
Zach, we gotta bring
yeah.
all these guys on.
Yeah, all these
Yeah.
guys have to come on. They're really talented.
There's this like
fun,
thin
cool
slice
people.
of Flatbush, like 20-somethings, like early 20-somethings, kids basically, who
Yeah.
are just creative in a way I have never seen someone
Yeah.
from
They
I
grew
feel
up.
like it's more
These kids
okay
grew
in the
up-
past
Everyone
5 or
grew
6
up
years
from-
to like
everyone grew up
pursue
from-
these types
Really?
of things.
very from yeah. It is. It
Not,
is.
not to pursue them from like necessarily a career standpoint like you are, which is very admirable, but like
Thank
even
you.
just from a standpoint of being an outlet in life, like and really pursuing and not just like playing piano in your room for like 20 minutes at the end of the day, like after school, like really outlet like sports was for
Passion.
a kid or like passion, like what cartoons and like even like video games were to like when you were a kid, when I was a kid, like and sports was to me, like this is what it is, like music and like a passion for these things and actually doing them 3 or 4 hours of your night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. In general, the world became much more open. Sports was always that acceptable thing when
Right.
we were growing up to like let your kid get really into sports, and that was pretty much like the only thing. And I
Right.
think music has also like once everyone's becoming natural
Yeah.
on that to find like other things
Yeah.
to like try to keep kids on the derech. So it was like get into anything that like is outside of porn.
Every
Right.
every single mother in the 5 towns calls me to teach her kid guitar.
Really?
Like really, because everyone wants their kids to have like creative outlets.
Right.
And
So why are you not
And also
getting
like Kumsitz now are like big.
why are you not getting a good like
Everything, yeah.
like if you're getting all these like tutoring jobs like you should, like
why don't I do that? I do them.
no, but like that's good money. No, I would
It
think.
is. It is.
Yeah, like
yeah.
you're charging by 40, 50 an hour, if not more.
Did you bring a copy of your recent basics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was trying to say that about me, but I'm just saying there's a big demand for like kids getting into music. People want their kids to learn,
Right.
to get into music. Yeah.
Then send
There's
us
music,
the
there's
send us
dancing,
the
there's
music
everything.
video. Send us the music video. Zach will cut some clips and we'll feature it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're a
Yeah.
guest. We'll throw that out.
Yeah, that would be
100%.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because it was directed and filmed by your
By my wife, yeah.
and it's got
Really?
some great
She's a
ideas.
photographer. That's the freelance she does.
She is a videographer,
Videographer.
cinematographer. She went to Brooklyn College. She has like her film degree, and she's super talented.
So what did she
Yeah.
do again? She videoed the.
She directed the music video.
Oh, Rafi did that.
No, Rafi directs other people's music videos, and Rafi produced my song, but Rafi did not direct the video for my song.
Got
that
it,
was me.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a team. I
gotta say,
yeah.
this
yeah.
lady-
He's on the rise, baby.
I feel like this is like a real, for the first time in many like ever. I feel like there's a community, and that I have. This was something you said to me at one of our first times we met at the art event that I made. Like, there is a community now of from adjacent people who grew up from like just people who get it from that world. But they're artists and they're creators. There's a community around it, and we're all working with each other.
That's what I'm about to say. That everyone supports each other.
Yeah,
everyone supports each other
it's
like
great.
crazy.
I love it.
It's really
awesome.
starting. It's only starting now. This did not exist. As far
That's what I'm saying.
as
It
I know,
didn't exist 5-6 years
3,
ago.
even 2-3 years ago. Also, a lot of the people we're talking about, they're like 20 years old.
Everyone's working with each other.
They're
A
all
lot, not
Also, I
everyone,
feel
but
like
a lot of people are. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. By the way, that's
Yeah.
the way to
That's-
like. If I want to grow my podcast, I probably should start working with other podcasts. Just don't want to. So
Yeah,
I
you
keep
have
on
a
shooting this on the
crossover.
phone.
But no, but also,
But, yeah.
I feel like that the reason for that is like when we were younger, like there was no means to an end to doing these like passionate projects, because these passionate projects, at the end of the day, a lot of these things we want results from, like whether it's our podcast like we're doing right now or like anything else, like you want to like see that it's moving you towards somewhere,
You want a
getting
vision
you.
that-
You want a vision that's getting you somewhere, and like when we're kids, like music and dancing and like. These things were not, it was like hobbies that were like fleeting, and like no one's ever going to take it seriously, or I'm able going to do anything with it, so what am I going to...
Which, by the way, usually is when you make it's when creativity feels the best.
Right.
Is when it's not. That's what the point you're making.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
No,
It's like-
that's not what he's saying.
He's actually saying the opposite.
He's saying
He's
that
saying the opposite.
Yeah.
You were
I'm
saying, yeah.
I'm saying the opposite. There is no I understand what you're saying. You're saying when there's no pressure, it's the easiest for your creativity.
Yeah, when you're a kid,
But
you're
but
just-
besides for that, but once you're a teenager and or a 20-year-old or 21 or
See, it's
22,
not going
and you see that it's not being picked up by people. Like
Not just
if
that's
you're
not being picked up,
if
there's
you're
no
not
future for
right,
it.
there's no future for it. There's no result coming from it.
Stop.
Then you stop being passionate about that thing, and you stop working on it. You start going after the creative goals that you necessarily had. You might like to dance when you were a 12, 13-year-old, but you're not going to, 22 years old, start doing your own choreography and start making it for
gotta
yourself.
figure out how you're gonna make a Parnasso.
Yeah, but it's not even just Parnasso. It's like you don't feel good because you don't
gotta
have a community to do it with.
Yeah.
You need like signals from other people that what you're doing makes sense.
Right,
You
that
know?
you're not just like
Yeah,
some delusional
yeah,
person who's
yeah,
23
yeah.
years old that's like
Exactly.
doing nothing with their lives, dancing in a
100%.
basement.
Yeah.
And
By the way-
I actually feel that with this.
Right.
It's the same exact thing. Like I was telling Shmuley and Zach, just to be totally honest about this, I was saying that I don't feel that I've done my part at all, to be dead honest, with this pod to have success, because I've pretty much half-assed it. And until I do everything and I've done it for a certain amount of time, I won't. Let me explain it. Let me just speak it out, because I have a way to explain it. There's a certain point in time where you do something for too long that you become delusional, but there's also a certain amount of time where you have to know that you need to persevere. And the success versus not success is a fine line. If I were to do this for 20 years straight and I would still have the same 500 followers, I'm a moron. But at the same time, if I do it for 3 months, then I haven't given it the chance for success. So I was telling other people, and Shmuley and people here, that I need to give this a substantial amount of time where I'm doing everything consistently, and if it still doesn't work, then my job is to find out the cue that, hey, maybe this is not for me. But I haven't gotten anywhere close to that, so whatever. So that's I'm feeling the same thing.
Yeah,
in that regard.
absolutely. You need feedback from people that what you're doing makes sense. At least some people. It doesn't have to be everyone. I finally started getting like some negative feedback, which means that like, oh, people are like, someone's saying it, because like before, like I put out music, it's just like it's ignored, you know.
Right.
So it's
There's
like
a little
nothing.
negative feedback. That's like not a bad thing.
No, it's a
like-
great thing.
Yeah, that means that like people are
someone
listening.
cares. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
You're not a
good.
real artist till someone thinks your stuff is shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's amazing.
So yeah, no.
By the way, I don't think people really realize, or maybe they do, but like, I mean, I put out like my little dance videos on Instagram. That I'm not trying to make a career out of that, but like with Rafi's song and anything you put out and with the pod, those little comments you leave on anyone's stuff, any creative person's
100%,
stuff,
100%.
even just like I love this is fire. It doesn't just like go along.
Yeah.
That might be the reason why the next episode comes out, why the
Yeah.
next dance comes out.
1,000%. I feel that
100%.
when I see
Bro,
someone.
great
We have so
point.
much insecurity, and
Yeah.
Oh
when
my
you
God.
get that positive feedback, maybe I should be doing this. People seem to like it. I'm providing value.
I'll be honest,
At
for
some
me,
point.
in this regard to this pod, it's not for me like insecurity. I think our last 3-4 episodes were freaking hilarious, awesome. It just makes me feel like what I want is starting to happen.
Right.
Right.
It's like there's a
That's all
fine
it is.
There's a fine line between like doing something for someone else. Like we post on social media, like if I post a piano video of you and like you want the validation from people, that's like one thing. Like that I wouldn't say is necessarily healthy. But like at the end of the day, if you're posting, put yourself out there and like you want to get some sort of feedback to know whether what you're posting, whether you're not posting, makes sense to post it. Yeah, it makes sense to post. Like
I would say it's not so bad. Maybe that is a tiny bit unhealthy, but
oh,
who's
of course,
fully secure in this
obviously,
world?
obviously, everyone's doing it for validation.
Bring the validation
too.
on,
No,
man.
but I'm saying, but besides that, that's not what it's about. At the end of the day, like we just we'll we'll continue posting even maybe if we don't get the validate. It's very possible. Probably we'll stop because we're human beings and we just won't feel.
Can I
it.
just say, guys, sorry, Ben, for cutting you off. Can I just say one thing? I love when creators like yourself come on this show, similarly to like when Arya Kunstler came on, because I feel such a this pod is creativity, right?
Like
it may not be
affinity.
music.
Right.
It allows me. I feel a connection.
Right, there's an affinity that we're both trying to do the same.
Exactly. That we're both trying to do the same thing.
I get you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're putting out stuff into the world and
Yeah.
seeing if people. When I do real estate, I don't feel that at all. That's not how the business works.
Right.
It's not whatever. It's not creativity.
You're not pushing the boundaries. It's something
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like it's
Exactly.
known. It's something that's
Right.
been
I'm not
done.
trying to create
It's-
something
You're
new.
not trying. You're correct.
Right. And probably to go back to your point about like when we were kids, we didn't really do this because you do have the internet now. I mean, we had internet then, but
Right.
like we didn't know how to use it.
Right.
Like,
We didn't have all the
like
social
today,
media.
you can really make content and put it on the internet, and it's just as legit as like Ed Sheeran's content on the
Right.
internet.
So can I say one
So-
thing? Just and you can
Totally.
argue with me if you want.
Yeah.
But I think for you, like it sounds like, especially this last song, you were saying that your content was getting ignored, and I mentioned this before. But I think for you, especially if people are telling you, like you speak to 10 friends, 15 friends, they're like, "Dude, this song is good." I think a lot for you, it comes down to the marketing aspect, because it's very possible your content is not getting out there because people just don't know about it. So like, how the hell is anyone supposed to like? You know what I'm saying?
So there's definitely more things that I probably could have done and I didn't do, and that's my bad.
Right.
My approach right now is like, just put out more songs. Put out more songs. I'm doing a show. It's gonna be my first ever live show. I do.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Like,
let's talk about
that's
it.
going to be the biggest marketing.
Yeah,
that's
like
going to be the
that-
biggest marketing
yeah,
play probably
yeah.
for
you
you,
need to
right?
get people there.
Right.
So how are you going to get people there?
So
The problem is, Ben, is that a lot of times marketing.
Not wrong.
No, he's
The
not.
problem is
Right.
marketing. Sorry for interrupting. I think what I'm saying is valuable. The
Totally.
problem is marketing costs money. And that's why people are scared to spend money, because what happens if you spend money, it doesn't work.
Right.
That's the double down that a lot of people have to do. So like right now for you, if you're having a show, you want everyone in the tri-state area, ideally. If I gave you unlimited funds, you want to blast this thing to the moon so that every single
Right,
person
so
know Ben Lerner's
sold
show is
out.
happening then, and we're all going, and it's going to be awesome. Then all of a sudden you have 1,000 people there instead of 50. So right, because you just put it in front of 100,000 people, now 1,000 are going to show up, as opposed to putting it in front of 1,000 and 50 show up.
Right,
That's
right.
how marketing works. So
Totally.
and those 1,000 people tell the next 1,000. It just keeps on building.
So
yeah.
you're absolutely right. I haven't even clarified to myself like where the money's supposed to go. Meaning, even if I'm happy to, I'm happy to pay money. Like marketing costs money, everything costs money,
Yeah.
production costs money. But I'm not even educated enough yet
I get
to
that.
like know exactly like what the path is.
1000%.
Happens to be this first show. It's 50-person capacity, so we can't get 1,000
Gotta up
people
those
there.
numbers, bro.
No, but it's the first time I'm doing this music live. I perform all the time, but it's not my music. So this is a special event for me. So I actually rather not. But you don't like that because you like when things are big. You like when things are right.
I mean,
Right.
listen to me. I wouldn't
Right.
say the first show has to be
Right.
1 billion
It
people,
doesn't-
but
yeah, that doesn't
I'm just saying,
make-
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have done 100.
Right.
Just like I'm always like just pushing.
Well,
a little bit.
I got the show just by I reached out to Rockwood. I said, "Can I do a show here? Here's my music." They said, "Yeah, you can have this room. It's 50-person capacity." So
They're
that's
giving it to you for free.
yeah.
Oh,
That's-
okay. What are
that's
they
just
gaining out of it? Drinks.
Drinks. Yeah. It's
Okay.
Rockwood. Have you been to Rockwood?
I've never
Music?
been to Rockwood. No.
It's like a
Yeah.
cool place with like 3 music rooms. Like one is like the bigger room. It's probably like 200 people. I don't
When is
know,
the
100
show?
People. October 30th.
Today is August, September, October. 2 months.
It's in exactly 2 months. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, but this pod is going to be posted much closer.
I know. I hear that, but
Yeah.
so who gets invited? Anyone who wants to come?
yeah.
So what happens if 100 people show up?
They can't.
How's anyone supposed to know if are there tickets?
No.
So what makes me
Oh,
believe?
he's just saying that you're going to go to the bar and be like, it's the bar. The bar is at
It's packed.
capacity.
It's just packed. You can't get in. Yeah.
but
See, I don't see. He's worried that too many people are showing up. I'm thinking
That's what
like
you gotta be thinking,
I was
bro.
thinking like, okay, I think 20 people will come.
no, if you
but
market
it's-
this right,
Right.
100% more
Right.
people will come.
So-
Bro, you're gonna. I'm not in a non-conceited way. Let's say that. Let's say we have
Let me handle this
a few
marketing.
hundred listeners here. Like you'll get 50 people to come from maybe listening to Mislabeled. Now that's not
Maybe.
crazy.
I have no
let's
idea.
say you get
Maybe,
20.
maybe
Let's say you
not.
get 20 people
So
to come from
my
Mislabeled.
own-
And you already have 20 good friends like Zach
Right.
that are gonna go. That's 40.
That's probably what's gonna happen. My own insecurities are like 50 is a great number right now. Let me do a couple more small shows. I feel like that's the way to do it. It's also harder to like. No one's giving me a big venue. You know, I can't
Right.
just. I mean, I actually don't even know how it works with big venues. Like, I think you could like rent out Brooklyn Steel if you wanted, right? Zach, you know this, right?
You know, 100
I do
people
not know
needs
the
a-
financials about renting out.
I know that Rockwood
Brooklyn
Music
Bowl,
Hall. Yeah, I know Rockwood Music Hall. They have live music every hour. We're gonna have a full band. It's 50-person capacity. I think it's a good start.
What happens if you do it in like the Red Lion or something? I don't know. I'm just naming places.
So,
Never heard of
No,
that.
that's just a place in the West
I don't
Coast.
know.
Yeah.
What about that
think-
place?
I
Just
think
say there's
dude,
more than 50-person
dude,
capacity.
It's like 150, let's say.
I honestly let him get the show. First of all, he booked it. Let him get the show in Rockwood under his belt.
Yeah,
Label
that's
is
kind of how
true.
I feel.
No, Label. By the way,
That's how my brain works.
Label's brain works.
But
Is that
he's right.
he's seen you for an hour and 15 minutes right now. He's like, I believe in this man. I'm gonna push this man to the
Thank
moon.
you haven't even heard my music. That's the
I don't
best
need it.
part.
It's not about
yeah.
that. I just
Yeah.
you said before that I'm an enabler, which was a terrible thing to say. But aside from saying that I'm an enabler, there's a reason why I want people don't understand what they're capable of, and I very much believe that. And the human being, there's a concept that I learned in Chofetz Chaim, which I very much appreciate, and that is Gadlus Adam, that a person innately does not, the human being is so powerful that we don't innately understand what we're able to do, right? We're extremely powerful. And most people, because of various different reasons, they don't understand what they're capable of, and they thought a little bigger or saw themselves, if they saw themselves from an outer perspective, like I see you and I see you, they would realize, like, hey, I really could do this, you know? And that's why I push my friends to do things. I think Shmuley, if he got out of his head a little bit and started really playing live, I think he would kill it. I believe that. Now, would he become, Elton John? No, maybe not. But he could definitely has the talent to, I've always said this, I think Shmuley could be, the next LA 11. I really believe that. Now, I'm not trying to make LA 11 sound like he's a god. I'm just saying,
Yeah, it's not what I would want to try to be.
Whatever,
but yeah.
it's not the point.
I'm saying that's not the music, but I know what you're saying.
you have the capacity, people, to really like your
Appreciate
music.
it.
You have a beautiful voice, you have great music, you have great taste, you know what people like, so that's why, and Zach, same thing, so he's trying to fill up a 50-person room. I promise you can fill up a 100-person room. Promise.
It sounds like you're going to be hiring Lions Entertainment.
You gotta work with Lion.
I just want to say congratulations on that show, no matter how
Yeah, it is
small it
awesome.
is.
Big.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
this
awesome.
is
Yeah,
your
Reach out in
first
general
show.
to any of these places and for them
Yeah,
to.
it was-
It's your first show.
It was-
It's your music.
Yeah,
It's
sorry,
very
I'm not trying to
No,
shut up.
I need to hear what you're saying
Okay, good.
all the time because I have like the opposite. I'm always like minimal. Like I don't have this big expansive.
Call me up whenever
mindset.
you need a little
Yeah,
motivation. I could make someone run through a brick wall.
By the way, Label can make you run away from your family or run towards success so easily.
He will send you about 35 voice notes. You will want to run into a brick wall.
Zach literally has anxiety because I send him. Zach, tell him.
So me and Label's correspondence is 14 drupled since I went from texting him once in a while to now he's literally the number one person I text on my phone. And this man he's quick with a voice note. He's quick. Lightning speed with a voice note, but not one, 6 in a row. And then he'll remind you every 10 minutes, with the, when you do the period and then you
that period.
guys, hello. Did you see the
that
thing?
Label period is one of the.
Did you respond? Did you listen?
People don't know what that period is. Let me just explain. The period move is, when you reply to a message. So I'll send the message, and then you on WhatsApp you go you slide, and instead of writing anything, I just put a period. So it
comes back up on your phone.
Comes back up on your phone. So you press it and drag you all the way back up. That period move is a very.
That is the most dreaded move.
I just want to say
it's basically like you didn't do A, B, and C, and I'm reminding you right now
Very
about
creative.
it.
Yeah.
I do want to say though.
A friend showed it to me.
I want to say it on the pod label. I want to say it on the pod.
Yeah.
You piss me off all the time. I'm sure I piss you off. Yeah. Everyone on earth should have a label wiener in their life. I'm serious. This guy he gets results out of you didn't think was possible.
Thank you, I
Because
appreciate
he
that.
just pushes. He pushes and he pushes because he believes in you.
Yeah, for
Everyone
sure.
should have a label wiener.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Zach. Just one thing, we could totally continue talking. I'm just saying we're at an hour and 10 right now on this. So
Well, is there anything we
Is
could
there
end? This is a great pod, but is there anything
Ben.
you want people to know, Ben? Or is there anything that you want to be asked?
No, shockingly, you didn't grill me at all.
oh,
which is
dude,
great.
plug away. Anything
Plug
else?
away.
Plug
So
away.
the music video is coming out. Should I look at that screen? Yeah. Music video will be. I think it will be out by the time the podcast is out. Music video will be out.
Amazing.
The show is October 30th.
Where can we see the music video? What do we
The
search?
music video. Heard of Rumble?
Oh my god, it's on Peacock.
It's on Trump's social. Truth social. It'll be on YouTube.
What do we search?
Ben Lerner.
Ben Lerner music. Or
I
ben
will not
Lerner?
come up, by the way, if you search Ben Lerner. You should search the song.
Okay.
Ben Lerner asking for a friend.
You just said.
If you type in Ben Lerner on Spotify, it won't come up.
No, it will. On Spotify, it will. But if you
He's on
Google Ben
YouTube.
Lerner, I'm competing with,
Oh,
with
got
Ben
it.
Lerner's. Yeah, I'm actually competing with one of my
I hear
favorite
that's
authors. Yeah, yeah.
One of your favorite authors has your name.
It has my name. Yeah.
That's why it's his favorite author.
It-
He's
it's
extremely
wild.
narcissistic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very closeted.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I want to watch your song on YouTube, what am I doing?
Ben Lerner
YouTube.
asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then all my songs will come.
Right.
And on Spotify.
And who are we
Ben Lerner.
following
Ben
on
Lerner.
Instagram?
Ben Lerner is just me.
Who
Yeah.
are we following on Instagram? Which we should put in the link of the video, by the way.
Yo, what's
Okay,
your
this
handle?
got even grayer. I actually need your advice on this.
Sure.
So, I have an Instagram called Benyamin Music, and every time I do a gig, I just post, here's the food, here's me singing, here's the other people playing with me. And then I decided that I need to start another Ben Lerner for my music.
For sure.
Because there's not a lot of crossover. The people who hire me for gigs, they're of a different age and demographic. They don't really want to see like my
they're
songs.
55-year-olds doing bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel very schizophrenic about
Right.
it, that like I have 2 Instagrams, but I also feel like I need it. Like
Right.
Benjamin
You
Music
do sure
tonight.
need it.
So if you want to hear my music, go to Ben Lerner.
And if you want to hire him for a bar mitzvah,
want to hire me for your event, it's at Benjamin Music. They're both, there's content on both. They're interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, they're
he's
totally
very
makes
funny,
sense.
by the way. Like you're really,
Thank
your
you.
content's
Yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
You got good jokes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm excited for you guys. I feel like bringing Zach on is
I think
Bro,
it's huge.
next level.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
huge, and I could
To the moon.
already tell the last 3 podcasts. I think
We haven't gotten one negative. I don't think we've gotten one negative feedback.
Guys, I
Zakaria
appreciate
now
it.
No,
I'm
it's
having
not-
the time of my life.
No, it's not
This is-
even negative feedback about you. I just think the pod in general, I'm getting fantastic feedback.
Everything, everyone's saying
about
like, what a
the
great
flow-
addition.
the
Like,
no, not just about Zach. I'm saying the.
oh,
Zach is.
Stop complimenting.
No, I'm saying no. You just bring away my point. I think
saying
that you're a
you
huge reason for the following. Everyone is saying that the pod has got 100 times better in general. Just that you're a huge pickup, and I think you're great. I'm just saying that the pod in general, the flow, just our progress from episode 1 to episode now, episode 20, whatever we're up to, and the last from episode 18 to this. I think we're making tremendous progress.
Look,
so, yeah.
I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to just use you guys as a stepping stone to get into Andrew Schultz.
And goodbye.
And then peace out. All right, Ben.
thanks so much for
Love
coming
it.
on. Really appreciate
Nice to
it.
meet you guys.
Yeah.
Thank-
Ben, you're great. Just tell me.
You're always welcome.
Tell me when we can hang out, man.
Yeah. I'm
come
around.
for Shabbos,
I'm
whatever,
around.
dude.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
a
around.
Anyway,
talented
folks,
musician. You're a proud
are always
member
welcome.
of
Thank
the
you.
disgruntled
Thank
ex-yeshiva guy community.
Yeah, we didn't get into that.
We
so
didn't
much,
really.
which is good.
It's good. Honestly, not
Yeah,
so
we
much
don't
trauma.
need to.
There's not-
Everyone knows
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know.
I'm saying it's underlying.
Yeah.
We're all
it's
sad.
great.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
I still would love to hear about that, but yeah.
When you guys have a play date, you guys can talk
Yeah.
about it.
Good stuff. All right, Ben. Thank
All
you.
right.
Peace.
Thank you so
Peace.
much. Thank you.